Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Collective Games Cast, the gaming podcast that gives you a voice. And what's great about the Collective Games Cast is you don't need to steal it because it's free. I'm your host, the Malgadar. With me, as always, is my first mate, Chris. What's going on, Chris?
What's going on, man?
Uh, Coming down off a Game of Thrones high, so let me get through the spiel here and we can get talking about this.
All right.
Uh, anyway, as always, you can find us right here on Twitch. We're at twitch.tv/the_Malgadar. Uh, if you can't join us for the broadcast, you can always get the podcast version on iTunes, Stitcher, whatever podcast service you like. We're out there. And, as always, join us in the Twitch chat if you want to talk about the episode or whatever our topic for the night is. And if you ever want to come on the show, contact us on Twitter or email us collectivegamescast@gmail.com. All right, Chris, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
That shit was live, man.
Yep. I think I'll have to say the best scene is Tormund chowing down on whatever he was eating and staring at Brienne the whole time. That's that's probably the best part of that whole episode, man.
That's what you took from that.
That's all I took. Was there something exciting that happened?
Chris, can I go out on a limb here?
Sure.
I'm gonna say that's the best episode since the Red Wedding.
Ah, I wouldn't go that far.
That everything that happened was just like crazy.
I think it was definitely it's definitely up there because it sets up a lot of stuff, but it gets everyone hyped for everything that's about to happen. Um, Best episode since the Red Wedding? Nah.
No, I'm saying it is. I can't think of an episode where I like just couldn't walk away. Like I wanted a drink and I just could not walk away from the TV for any of it.
Oberyn got his head crushed. I kind of stared at the screen for a while.
That was pretty good, but that was like one good scene in an okay episode,
Uh,
from what I remember. This
Joffrey
episode
dying.
was
That was a good one because then I was cheering the whole time.
that was a storybook ending. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad to see that little blonde bastard die.
I don't know. It definitely tops last week's episode that I thought was like really good.
Yeah,
This
it
was
just
significantly better.
I don't know. From beginning to end, it was just really good. I mean, what we started with Sansa showing up at Castle Black, right?
That first off, wasn't expecting that. Apparently, people are time travelers, but yeah, having them walk in, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah, it's about to get
yeah,
real, huh?
yeah, because John has no choice now, especially after he said, "I'm done, man. I'm gonna go get warm."
Yeah, right.
Nah, you're a
I,
Stark,
I'm gonna
bro.
go get me some Strange. Like no, nah, hold the thoughts. Not time for retirement yet, son. Yeah. Um. Yeah, and then the events that would happen later in the episode would really seal his fate.
Oh man, dude, that was probably the most childish note I've ever heard. Come
Well,
see.
here's the problem. He doesn't have the internet to go and do like hateful comment threads. So like, this is how this is their version of the internet. So
Oh
I mean, we just
man,
talked about internet hate last week, so yeah.
dude, that was probably the most ridiculous letter.
Dude,
Come
that was
see.
yeah.
Yeah, dude's fucking crazy, man.
Absolutely. But it's funny because like part of me is just waiting for anybody to pull off like the murder Ramsey, but at the same time, it's like yeah, but like he's kind of like the bad guy. Like if you lose him, you don't
Yes, yeah,
really yeah, like you need someone else to hate. Like and I don't know who that would be.
yeah. As much as I like what the High Sparrow is doing, I can't stand them at all.
It's just not the same though. Like yeah, like I want all the sparrows to get murdered. That'd be great, but
Yeah, when
it's
they're done
like
with the Tyrells coming in, I'm like, this is
yeah,
good,
yeah.
legit.
I'm just like, what is Cersei's angle though? You know?
I don't know, but I think she could possibly be making a mistake having the Tyrell's army being there, unless she's got a side plan. That
She
sounds like
does. She does. She's always got another
she got a
agenda.
side plan.
She's got a reason she wants them to do this. I just can't figure out what it is yet.
Oh, it's to
Like
get rid of the High Sparrow.
maybe it's that simple. Maybe she just wants him out of the picture and then she'll deal with the rest.
Yep.
I don't know. But
Can't rule with him being there, and then she has to do the trial by combat. My thing is, if she does have a second like plan B, because if the Tyrells are in the, if they come into King's Landing, that's pretty much theirs. They can just take control over King's Landing at that moment. But if she's got like a side plan, then maybe there's something more to it. But either way, I think it's a dumb plan if she has nothing to back that up. Because what's her name, Lady Elena? She's not dumb.
no, she's not. Like she didn't
Not
get.
dumb.
I mean, come on. She told her story of how she got to where she got to. Like she's no fool. So
Yeah, she'll play the game and she'll use the army for that.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be curious to see how that unfolds. So I don't know. Perhaps there will be a accident with Marjorie or something during the escape attempt. I don't know. Maybe that's her plan. I mean, she's got that possessed giant.
Yep. I also think she doesn't like Tommen at all. Like, I think she's growing to hate her son.
No, I don't think. No, I don't. I don't think that's it.
Oh,
I feel like she just is kind of like, I gotta help you. Like you have no clue what the fuck you're doing. That's the only kid she has left. She's not gonna turn on him.
It's true. This is
Very... Plus, he's so easily manipulated. If she could get Marjorie out of the way, she could get back to like controlling him. Come on, look at how easily what's his face, the old man did completely. I mean, he basically had him repeating exactly what he said. Yeah, the kid just does not have the willpower to be a ruler.
Doesn't think for himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So what else happened? Little footnote with Theon, right?
Oh yeah.
So he finally got back. Yeah. Not really a lot there. I mean, kind of exactly what you saw coming.
Yeah.
With that, but it's moving along. More importantly, my man is back.
Who's that?
Peter Baelish.
Oh yeah, he's coming up.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
That's what I'm excited about. Like,
I love that guy. He is my favorite. Like, he's just got everybody twisted.
Oh, dude, the way he's using that kid, man.
Yeah, that was such a great scene.
Oh.
The kid's just like, sure, whatever. Like, I got a bird, man. Bird. Let me play with my bird.
Dude, he's a genius.
It's so great. And it was funny because I was saying to my wife, I was like, just nobody's on his level. And then the next scene, they show Varys and Tyrion.
Oh, that was
and I'm
brilliant.
like, those are the only two guys who can keep up with him. And they're on another continent. I was like, yeah,
neck and neck with him on everything he did.
Yeah, like I was just like, they're the only two guys on his level. Like everybody else just is playing catch up, Yep. Yeah, so it was good to see him back, and that the Knights of the Vale are about to, kind of dip their toes in the water.
And then he's going to marry Sansa, and then it's going to be he's going to be running the North and the Vale. That's what's going to happen, man.
That's what I thought his original plan was. So I don't know why he let her go back to Winterfell, but I think I'm starting to see it now.
Yeah,
because now he
used her as bait to get the Vale to come after her.
Well,
that's what he used.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I couldn't figure that out forever. I was like, why did he give her away? Like, it didn't make any sense. Now it does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Playing the long game, and he didn't care who got hurt in the meantime. Well, he knew Ramsay wasn't going to hurt her. There'd be a few things, but it wasn't going to be death.
Well, no, because he needs her.
Yep.
At least until she bears a son, then maybe,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That should be interesting, especially because it's like, what if the Knights of the Vale show up right as the wildlings like show up at Winterfell?
Once they see Jon Snow there, they're gonna be like, "Oh, never mind, it's all good, guys." Jon Snow, the bastard and his
Yeah,
wildlings.
I wonder if that's the wrinkle in Baelish's plan as Jon Snow. You know,
I
because that's
wonder.
kind of the
Yeah.
one guy he probably thought was out of the equation being in a Night's Watch, and now all of a sudden,
Well, no, he thought. Well, even if Jon Snow goes back, takes Winterfell, it goes to Rickon, right? Or Bran if they come back.
yeah, I guess it
Sounds like.
might.
So it's
Yeah.
like.
Unless I guess he marries Sansa, then maybe it could be his. I don't. Sorry, I'm just not versed in Westeros law, so.
Well, no. Everyone thought he was dead. The only people that knew Rickon was alive was Bran and Theon, right? And then Sansa learned later on. But Baelish, Littlefinger, he didn't know shit about Rickon. He thinks he's dead. Everyone thinks he's dead, along with Bran. So it's like he thinks that Sansa's the only person who's the heir to the throne, but it's really actually Rickon as long as he's alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he was dead, then yeah, Sansa's the next in line. Because then both him and Bran would be dead, and the next in line would be Sansa. And then if you marry Sansa, then he becomes the Lord of Winterfell. Confusing, because everyone was supposed to be dead.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah. So even though his wrinkle in the plan is Rakan sitting in the basement just chilling. Well, not really chilling, probably getting tortured. But that's that's his real wrinkle in the plan.
Yeah, I guess you could be right about that. I hadn't really taken it that far. Yeah, that could definitely be a problem.
Yep.
Well, we'll see. He always seems to figure out some way to get around all his problems. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, well, they needed a Hail Mary from Sansa before, so
He's
shit
gonna,
happens.
he's gonna find himself being the little guy, either that or just the Lord of the Vale.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, it's not a bad option.
Yeah. Well, I get the feeling he's more daring now that Cat's out of the picture. You know.
Oh, you mean Ned? Ned was a real issue there.
No, I mean, because like his real motivation was to try to get Ned out of the picture so he could get Cat back. But now that she's
Oh,
dead, I think now it's just kind of like, well, fuck it. Like now, I'm just fuck everybody over. You know.
little guy from the fingers, man.
Yeah. So what else? Okay, so we got everything with Daenerys, right? That was big shit.
That was some crazy shit.
I mean,
I didn't
it's
expect that.
yeah. I mean, it started off with the what's his face knows now about Jorah's stone.
Grayscale?
Yeah. So
Well, that first off, dude's an asshole. Dario,
yeah, kind of.
dude, come on, man. You know this guy's got friend zoned, and he's really not wanted there, and you just rubbing it in his face over and over again. Like, come on, man.
Well, he doesn't want any competition, so
He
you
doesn't
know.
really have competition, man.
Well, now he knows he doesn't, so I'm sure he'll let it go now.
Yeah, dude's about to die.
Yeah, like he's like, oh, he can't touch her. Okay, we're good.
Nope.
um.
But yeah, Daenerys, man.
Yeah, that whole scene at the end, man. Boy, did she play them like fools.
Yep.
That was beautiful. And now, boy, she got a lot of followers again. She just seems to do that, man. She like rolls a crit every time she like needs more followers.
Dude, as long as she is burning, she tends to gain followers.
Yeah, right. Like I would just hang out with fire all around me all the time. Like, yo, what's up? Like, yo, come on. Look at me. You know.
My chair, lights it on fire, and just sits back and relaxes like it's nothing. But, yeah.
Like, oh man, this chicken's undercooked. Hold on, let me walk into the fireplace real quick and just, Here's what I don't get, right? She can't be burned. I get that. That's cool.
Yep.
Why doesn't it burn her hair? Shouldn't she come out bald? It would seem to make more sense to me.
Oh, that would be or her
I mean,
eyebrows.
her
man.
hair is magically endowed too. Like,
Thick ass eyebrows should get burnt off. Like massive caterpillar she's got going on there.
just come out looking like an alopecia victim,
There
Like,
you go, man.
man,
Something like that's gotta happen.
yeah, I don't know. Nitpicking.
It's
Yeah.
still cool, though.
Oh, dude, it was so cool. Like, it was just great how she kind of set that whole thing up, Although
Yes.
nobody's like, oh look, the two dead guys on the steps, who look like they have stab wounds. Like nobody seems to be worried about that, you know. It's just,
Nah,
I guess with the whole like holy temple thing, whatever that was, is on fire. You don't really notice the two dead guys on the steps.
that's how it works, man. You're just like, oh shit, this bitch is standing in the fire.
Yeah, she's not
Unburned.
dying.
She, yeah, no, we're good. Rules don't matter anymore. This is who we're following.
Well, when you see a chick walk out of a fire without getting burned, I guess all the rules change, right?
You, I mean, I would, but like, yep, that's the one. That's the one. That's who we're following, guys.
Well,
She needs us to cross water. I'm fine with that. I don't care.
yeah, right.
Fire.
Oh, that'd be actually kind of fun, right? She's standing in a fire, you throw some water on her, and she just like steams,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Dude,
you
I
know.
wonder.
That's like
If,
that's a new like whole like that's got to be like a BuzzFeed article, like fun things you could do if you were Daenerys.
yeah. Oh man. I wonder if she's gonna take them back and just go back and sack all the slaver cities.
Yeah, well, you know what? That was the kind of the next thing I was going to get to because we got Tyrion dealing with slavers.
Yep.
That was pretty tense, man. Like
Brilliant
not the deal with the slavers, yeah, but then like the confrontation afterward with Grey Worm and the chick. Yeah.
But I get it. It's he's going the middle ground, which is the best way to do things. You
Well,
kinda put the
he's playing the long game.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's a shitty 7 years, but then we're good. Like,
Well, no, because he knows they're not going to be there for 7 years. Dude, they're about to get the fuck out, so he's got nothing to worry about. They got nothing to worry about. Yeah, that whole idea is, they really want slaves to be free there, but once they leave, this who the fuck cares anymore? They're gone. It's not like they're going to leave and then leave some people there to lead. Nah, they're going to take everybody with out of Marine, and they're going to go to Westeros and fuck shit up. Like, that's... I mean... that's ideal. That's kind of what he's thinking, I would assume. Like, they're not going to be there that long. 7 years is enough time. At least it looks like they're doing something. They can get these people to stop, like, fucking with them the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, this is what I like. He gets who he's dealing with, Unlike Daenerys, who's just like, fuck you, do it my way. He's kind of like, all right, so like I got to kind of play the game the way these guys play it. So here's how I'm gonna get shit done. Which I like, because me and the missus were arguing about Daenerys a bit. I was like, I like her, but she's a little too righteous sometimes for her own good,
Yeah, like a 50-50 hit or miss success rate. Like, like
yeah, I mean, she's got the right ideas, but she's a bully, man. Like,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
I got the power now.
Yeah, you do what I say because I say so. Like, it's
You're
like,
just
well,
whatever. We'll do it for now until you leave.
yeah. So, did we miss anything else from the episode? I'm trying to remember what, if anything else happened. Oh, the wildling chick got murdered.
Oh yeah.
That was a bit out of the blue.
Satisfied with the Ramsay killing every episode.
Dude, he really likes to like pull that surprise murder too. Like, I didn't think she was dying in that scene. I thought she was gonna try to kill him. He was gonna stop her, and then she was gonna go back to her cell or something,
No,
or he's gonna torture her or something. Like, I didn't think he was just gonna be like, nah, you're useless.
One of them was dying, and we all know it was Ramsay. Like, that scene when it started off, I knew exactly what was happening. Like, nope, she did. But just the way they did it, the way they do it is not in a how. I think it's just him. I think it's just Ramsay. Just the way he kills people. It's always this calm. He's not going batshit crazy. He just does everything this relaxed way. Like, he literally wiped the sword off and ate the apple at the end. Like,
he's kind of twisted, man. Like, like a curly fry.
They said he's like the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight.
I'd have had to have watched The Dark Knight to comment.
I do not watch The Dark Knight.
I don't watch movies.
Oh man.
Sorry. I spend my time watching sports documentaries, man. I
That's,
can't help it.
uh,
Yeah. I don't know. There's like a Batman movie every 2 years. It's like, I don't know.
well, there was
That's
three
not
back
interest. Yeah.
that were like, the best kind. So
I'm sorry, dude. It's
missed out on
nah.
quality
It's
Batman.
sorry. It's Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, man, and I can just retire off that.
Ah, I'm telling you, man,
But no, I know it's pretty good. I've heard people say it, but
it's definitely
I'm not sitting down to watch 3 fucking movies, man. That's like a lot of hours of my life I got to give up to do that.
Dude,
I could be playing a game in that time, man. Priorities.
you gotta watch some movies sometimes. There's more to life than games.
I do, but I watch movies with my family. I'm not gonna sit down with the kids and watch The Dark Knight yet. Maybe in a couple of years.
I was like, yes, you will. You should
Yeah.
definitely do that at some point.
Yeah, when they get a little older, man. Oh man. Anyway, I gotta admit, I think this season of Game of Thrones, last week's episode I was kind of down on. This week's episode I'm really bullish on, and the other 2 episodes so far this year I was pretty keen on too. So I think this season's moving along a lot better than last season did.
Oh, so much better. I've been on like slowly. It's going up. My hype levels are going up each episode.
You know why? Because there's like drama everywhere. Like
Yeah.
even when you got like the Onion Knight and the Red Lady, like even their interactions are all kind of like tense and
That's what we forgot.
yeah.
That's the conversation that got me, was when she's about to tell him what happened to Shireen, and then Brienne's dumbass.
Oh yeah.
I'll kill Stannis. Like, God damn it. Damn you, man.
Yeah.
Like, Brienne, I like you, but you just fucked that up, man. We're about to see this dude go batshit crazy on her, man.
Oh well, we know he knows that's what happened. Like he knows that's why he got sent away.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not stupid. I guess he just wants.
He just wants the actual words.
Yeah.
Like, we burned her alive.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Considering how like fucked up their world is, she may have done the kid a favor.
The kid had grayscale, man.
Well, they cured her somehow.
Yeah, this is all money. I guess that's how that works.
So she's Magic Johnson?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what the fuck is this?
Yep. He is, even though they were like the brother of the king, they still had that money.
Yeah, they got that royal money, man. Is that where they get royalties from?
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, moving on. No, the season's really moving along good. I'm loving it. Shit is happening. People are dying. And it's setting things up, too. So it's cool because, like, things are actually happening and things are setting up for further down the line at the same time. And I like that. I just hope they didn't, like, blow their load in this episode and, like, they got...
Oh, no, we've got battles galore coming up. And if they
Yeah, but battles don't matter unless they're actually good, though.
That's what I'm saying. After Hardhome last year, right? And then Sir Arthur Dane's two-hand sword battle with young Ned Stark. If it's anything like that, it's going to be fucking legit.
Yeah, we didn't get any young Bran like time traveling this week.
Yeah, that's next week.
Yeah, I've been digging them scenes. We got to see more of that, man.
Man.
Bran and his DeLorean, man. That's what I'm talking about. Time travel in style. Something like that, Yeah. All right, we go with the Game of Thrones recap, or you want to get into something else? Did I forget anything? Leave anything out here?
No, that's all. That's all it.
Okay.
I can remember, yeah.
All right. All right. So I guess what have you been up to, man? What's your week been?
Week's been pretty game free till the weekend. So on Thursday, I ended up buying Gone Home.
Oh yeah, you were telling me you got that.
Rogue Legacy and Stories.
Okay.
And I played maybe 5 minutes of Gone Home.
Okay.
And 5 minutes of Rogue Legacy, and I've been playing. I've played. Let me get the correct amount here real quick.
Oh God.
24 hours of Stellaris over the weekend.
Okay. Uh,
Paradox Grand Strategy game.
not familiar.
Oh man, it just came out.
How did you play 5 minutes of going home and not keep going?
Because it didn't. The story was just kind of like you walk into a house and you click on things and you get the diary thing. And I got to a point where the diary didn't like lead me on to anything. So I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, all right, I need to go back and blow some shit up in my empire. So that's what I did. And
Okay.
Rogue Legacy, I liked what they had going on, but I gotta get my Xbox controller charged up so I can have better
Uh,
controls for it. Because the keyboard and mouse the keyboard buttons are like too weird for me.
okay.
Because it's got me using the arrow keys and the WASD keys, except the D key is like the everything button, and then there's like, oh, it's weird. It's weird. I need my like D-pad. Um, but yeah, so that's why I did that. But I just kept thinking about my Empire and Stellaris, and I'm just like, man, I need to get back in there. That's a quality game. There's a lot of issues with it, but it's mainly just interface issues in diplomacy. But if you're familiar with grand strategy games or 4X games, it's pretty damn solid.
Hmm. Not no, actually I'm really not familiar. And you know me, I'm not a big strategy games kind of guy, so yeah.
They call it 4X grand strategy, but what it really comes down to is role playing your way through an empire. Like, because there's no like how you win. None of that exists. It's mainly just build up an empire, try to survive. There's other empires coming in. Um, build alliances, get destroyed by fallen empires, stop the robot rebellions that are happening, keep your people happy. It's a lot of that. But the way they did it in this game makes it so it's not so much micromanaging things and more macro and more exploration. I guess explorative is the word, but it's a quality game. I mean, it's been 24 hours since Friday, so
That's pretty beefy, bro.
yeah, it was a lot of time.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't get into them kind of games anymore. They just feel like way too much work, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. Whatever works for you, man.
It's a solid game, man.
Yeah.
You got
Uh,
Matt into it. I think Matt's sitting at the same amount of hours too.
what a surprise.
Yep.
What's up, Matt? You need to get back on the show, bro. It's been too long.
Dude, if he is listening to this, he's probably playing Stellaris at the same time.
Oh, man. We are the second screen experience, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I know we're not taking priority over that.
Nope.
Oh, man. Um, okay, so that's pretty much it for your games, I guess, then, if you played that much of that one game, huh?
Yeah, there's nothing else being put in there at all.
Okay, well, I got quite a few things for me here, so we can
All right.
we can shift the balance that way then.
All right.
First off, you were talking about not much gaming during the week, but a lot on the weekend. Well, I can't wait for this weekend because Thursday is Fahaba.
Oh, it's coming out Thursday.
Yeah, ain't that weird?
That
It's
is a weird
yeah,
day.
worldwide DLC release on Thursday. I don't know what the deal with that is.
Interesting.
Um,
Getting you ready before the weekend.
yeah, like, but it's perfect because it's like, all right, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, bam, bam, bam. Like,
Mhm.
gonna tear up some Far Harbor. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with it. It should be interesting. They've got a little more experience with doing these DLC packs and all now, so
Mhm.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, that was a small nugget I wanted to put out there because still chasing that platinum trophy for Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Well, I got the platinum, but I want my 100% back, and I
Yeah.
can't get it.
You'll get
until-
it with Far Harbor, and then they'll release another one, and then
Oh, they will, but at least for a little while this time, I should get to keep my 100%. But speaking of 100% in games, Rocket League.
I saw that.
Yeah, I finally. Well, I bought all the DLC packs first off because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hook these guys up. I've been playing this game a lot. I was like, let me support them. I know they've done well with the money, but it's just a thing I wanted to do. So, I threw it out there, you know, probably ran me like $15 or something total for everything, you know. And then started playing around the DLC cars and paint jobs and, you know, the spinners and all that stuff. Um, yeah, but got all the achievements for that on Friday. Like, just played quite a few hours on Friday and knocked everything out. So
Nice.
I had already been most of the way there. It was mostly just the DLC stuff. So yeah, so I did that, supported them, got my platinum trophy there. So that was nice. Um, I decided to get into Uncharted 3 because Uncharted 4 came out on Tuesday. I can't play it till I finish 3, which I've been procrastinating on forever.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. What's going on, man?
I figured out what the problem is. I don't like Uncharted 3.
Oh, wow.
That's the problem. Uncharted 2, right up there with like BioShock and Mass Effect as my favorite games from the last generation. Uncharted 3, wow. Game's got problems, man. A lot of problems. Still good.
Really?
Still good. And I know there's like a big, like, online, the big argument is, you know, are you an Uncharted 2 or an Uncharted 3 guy? So it's a big thing. But, like, I'm like halfway through the game now, and it's just not as good as 2. Like, it's not even close. And,
Okay.
and it's for a couple reasons. Like, one, like, I don't know. The puzzles in 2 felt, like, really intuitive. You know, like, there were a couple that were like, that's annoying. But for the most part, they were pretty decent. 3, it's like some of them are decent, and then some of them are like, are you mad at me? Like, what did I do to you? Like, why do you hate me? You know? Like, they're just annoying. They're not, like, fun or interesting, really. Now, that isn't too big of a problem. The bigger problem is the combat encounters in 3. It's just like every goddamn combat encounter is an ambush, and it just everything's like leveraged completely against you. Like, it's basically like Naughty Dog just was like, hey, fuck you, man. Like, you know, like, we hate you, you know. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know, it's bad enough that it's supposed to be like me versus like all these dudes, but it's just like every combat encounter is just like ridiculous, you know. And it's like 2 had some encounters that were like that, but they were varied. Like, sometimes you'd get like a shitty ambush, other times it'd just be like, look, here's dudes on one side of an area and you're on the other and you're gonna shoot each other. And it was like, it had that balance so that like the tension levels could like balance themselves out. And this is just like every encounter is like dudes are coming at you from every angle and there's no safe place to hide, and, you know, fucking grenades are getting thrown at you everywhere, and it's just like, it's just nuts, like, the way it's laid out. It's just, I don't know if it's poor design or just somebody didn't actually stop and evaluate it as a whole well enough and say, like, hey, we're kind of like really, like, you know, fucking the player in the ass every 5 minutes here. Like, maybe we should tone it down a bit. Like, it makes sense because in every encounter, like, it serves the story that, like, you're up against these, like, strong organizations, you know, that have, like, all these like, thousands of disposable humans. But it's just, I don't know. It's just it's frustrating. And it's not fun. That's the big problem.
So it's not a challenge that's fun.
It's just a challenge that's fucking annoying, you know.
Okay.
So, what I do really like is I really like the story, and I really like the character interactions, and everything that's going on there is great, and it's building off everything that's happened in the first 2 games. The environments are really cool. I love how varied everything is in this one. You know, like, you're just moving all over the place. You know, I've already been to like 3 different countries, and I'm only halfway done the game. You know,
Damn.
so yeah, so like that's really interesting, but. And like the scaling and all is pretty good in this one. Like, everything's really tight with that stuff, so they nailed all that. I don't know. It's going to be really tough for me to get through it because at this point it's like I play for like 10 or 15 minutes and I'm just like, I'm so frustrated that I'm just like, I just want to be done with this. Like, I just want to go play something else and actually enjoy myself. You know,
Lower the difficulty and just speed through it.
I'm thinking about cranking it down to easy just to enjoy the story and the environments. And
Hmm.
but even on easy, I feel like it's not going to be that easy because, like I said, when you're constantly being like fucked over and swarmed and attacked from every possible angle, it's
I
not
get that.
easy. Yeah. Uh, Other than that, I am back on hashtag Vita Island, man. So there we go. I got my new Vita since I lost my old one. Uh, Ordered a 32 gig memory card. So I've been downloading games all weekend and kind of getting that all set back up. Uh, I started playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night again while I was waiting for my memory card since it was a tiny game.
Yeah.
That's fun to get back into. Uh, I checked out Race the Sun. Do you know about this game?
Race the sun?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Basically, you're like this solar powered ship, and the sun is setting in the like foreground
Ah, okay, I get it.
or in the
Alright.
background rather. Yeah. And your whole thing is you have to try to like you're basically just flying forward the whole time, trying to keep up with the sun so it doesn't set. But like there's obstacles and stuff everywhere, and like if you fall into shadows, your ship slows down. So then the sun starts dropping further on the horizon. You know,
Okay.
it's a pretty cool concept. It's real simple, and like every day the map changes.
Oh,
Like the world resets or whatever. So like it's a different map every day. But it's got a lot of cool little mechanics to it. But it's just like it's one of them things like you pick it up, you start playing, you're like, yeah, there's not a lot to it. But next thing you know, you're going again and again and again because it's just real simple and it just like kind of sucks you in again and again and again.
it's a commuting game.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it'd be really really good for something like that. You could get a lot done in 15 minutes. That was cool. I liked that. And then I reinstalled Rogue Legacy and
Alright.
I turned it on just to finish the installation. I booted it up and then I brought it. Luckily, that game is cross saved onto a server, so I was able to pull all my data back for that.
Nice.
So I didn't lose any of my progress, and I fell right back into the Rogue Legacy hole. And I've been playing a shit ton of that. I just beat the game for the third time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've almost maxed out the castle now. That's pretty much what I'm working on. And
Jeez.
yeah, that game's brilliant. They did a really great job with that. So
Yeah, I kept running into rooms that I got my ass whooped in.
oh, dude, the first like hour or two of that game is just you getting your ass handed to you constantly.
Over and over.
Yeah, it gets better. There's like you literally are pushing the boulder up the mountain, and then it just starts rolling downhill.
Ah, okay.
And then you beat it and start over, and the castle gets harder, and then you start the grind all over again. But it's not as bad the second and third and ensuing times because now you actually have tools at your disposal, unlike the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Who's
just
that
gotta.
with, like the one that's supposed to be the tankier character. So
Yeah, the barbarian does pretty good, just
Yeah,
because you could take
he's
some
got
hits. Yeah, it'll get better.
no
It'll
other
get better.
description, though.
Oh, the descriptions and the flavor text in that game are, you know, yeah, there's so many cool things with that.
Yeah, it's a quality game.
Yeah, we weren't doing the showdown, but that was my game of the year for 2014 because even though it didn't come out that year, that was the year I played it, and it came out on PlayStation, and that game, I've dumped a lot of hours into that game.
Wow.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, that's it for me though. That's pretty much what I've been
Wow.
up to. Yeah, it is a lot. A lot of bite-sized stuff though.
Yeah,
And I didn't have a lot to do this weekend, so get the gaming in when you can.
that's what I was pretty much doing.
Yeah.
Not much to do this weekend. Did some laundry, and that was like the most responsible thing I had to do.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, so you want to get to the big story for tonight?
Let's do it.
All right, so the big story tonight, we're talking piracy. And we're not talking about the stuff on the high seas, you know.
Wow.
What?
Not Somalian pirates.
No,
Get
no.
me. I am the captain. None of that.
Well, I was gonna, but like you yelled at me last time we talked about Somalian pirates on the show, so I
I
can't
don't
tell
remember this.
it because it didn't actually happen.
So I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah,
I joined it.
was I drunk for that episode? Like, what the hell happened here? You know? Yeah. Um. Yeah. No. Uh. So
Talking about
pirate. Okay. So
Pirate Bay.
yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
um. Okay. So piracy. Right. I
yep.
guess I was trying to think like where's the best place to start because it's a tough topic to talk about. Right. Because it is like whereas a lot of things in gaming are kind of black and white, like this one is gray as fuck, right?
I don't know about that.
I feel like it's a very multi-layered thing, right? And it depends on what angle you're coming at it from, you
I
know.
think here's how I feel. All right. I think no matter what, if you agree or disagree, or if you agree that people should do piracy or whatever, or you don't, as long as somebody does it, it's considered illegal. Like I get that, and I'm 100% on the whole illegal thing. It's kind of like drugs. Like if you're going to smoke weed, you know that it's illegal. You take, it's consequences, right?
Okay.
Now, the difference is that you're technically taking money from people. Well, not really taking money. You're using something that somebody spent a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of money into, and you're taking it for free. Um, that's on your own conscience. Like you would have to, like that's a personal thing. Like, do you feel bad for doing that? Personally, I do, because as I grew up, I started understanding what actually goes into the process of making a game or making a movie or whatever. It's a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. But at the same time, a lot of people use it to try a game before they actually purchase it. And since we're not in the '90s anymore, we don't have demos.
No, the demo scene has pretty much completely dried
Yeah.
up.
So now we're
I
stuck just buying the game, realizing it's shit, and then if you buy it digitally, there's no refund process. Like Xbox, you
well,
get one a year.
yeah, Steam's got like something going now, and I know some
Yeah,
people are
Steam,
finding ways to cheat it, and
yeah. Steam has a better option. I think they said if you have games on there that you don't play, you can refund it for, I think it's a small percentage, but it goes into like Steam credits or whatever, so you can use it to purchase another game.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, but like beforehand, there was no way you can get that back. There's no digital trade-ins. There's none of that. So you're stuck with purchasing this game for $40 to $60. So then people resort to pirating to see if they're going to actually buy the game.
Yeah,
And I get that, but at the same time, it's like you should still support these people because you're going to want to actually benefit from these games. You want to play these games. You want to have fun with these games. You should at least, support them somehow.
yeah, it's difficult, right? Because in other things, right? Like if I buy a new chair, right, and I'm like, oh, this chair friggin' sucks. I thought it was good at the store. I could take it back,
Take it
right?
back.
If I buy a bad piece of media, it's just like, well, you bought it. Too bad.
That's it.
And it's like, well, shit. Like that's a horrible return policy, you know. So, I mean, I get that some idiot that lives in his mom's basement figured out how to copy it, but, like, why am I being punished for that, you know? On the other hand, it's kind of like, well, you can't just take something, you know what I mean? Like stealing media is not cool. Like, people need to get paid. They worked on shit, you know? Publisher invested millions of dollars in a project, and here you are, just like, oh, well, look, I can get it free. Like,
That's not who I'm even caring about. Fuck the publisher. I'm talking about the people who
well,
are
no,
actually.
because without publishers, we don't get games.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no, I get that. I get that. But I'm more worried, there's these guys who are putting like 60, 70 hours a week trying to
well,
just
here's the
like
thing,
70 hours
because
a week doing work on this. Like that's who I'm more worried about.
well, here's the problem, right?
Yep.
if the publisher doesn't get their money, guess who's getting their job taken?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Like it's the developer that pays the price. So
We're not.
yeah,
What I'm saying is, when I do purchase games, I'm not like, there you go, publisher. I'm thinking of the guys who actually put the time and effort into the game, not the people who are there, funding it. I'm like, the money is going towards that guy who drew that character. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you can still. I mean, it's obviously going to the publisher, and then a publisher has already like funded it, so then they're getting the money back. But at the same time, it's like, as long as I keep funding this game, I pay for this game, then games that I want for the people or who are being made by these guys will continue to be made. You get what I'm saying?
no,
Try to,
yeah, I got it. It
it
it's just it's a strange thing, right? Because why is it that if you stole something anywhere else, it would be completely unacceptable, right? Like, dude, what are you doing? You stole that. But for some reason with media, it's just kind of like, yeah, well, people steal media. Like, how did that culture develop where it was just like this kind of, whatever, you
no
know?
consequence.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
like
Like,
where does
you know,
that come from? How did we get here?
well, when you physically steal something in front of people, people see it. It's obvious. You're a thief. But when you do it online, it's like there's no consequence, and nobody really has any bad like, oh, that's bad. Like, no, like
Hmm.
the consequence is a lot worse when you do it in person than when you do it online. It's the same way there's so much hate speech online because there's no consequence.
Yeah, I guess it's part of it is
Honestly,
like if you steal from a store, like it's like, hey, you just stole from those guys right there, like that store. I guess it's tangible. You could see it when you just pluck it out of the ether of the internet. It's just kind of like, well, I don't know. It came from somewhere,
yeah.
like, but you don't really know who got hurt directly. So I don't know. That puzzles me though. Exactly how we think it's okay to do one and not the other.
This thing, I don't think
You
people
know.
think it's okay. I think
Well,
people,
it's just ambivalent, I guess.
yeah, it's one of those accepting things. Like, all right, whatever, dude. I can't tell you to stop using your internet to steal stuff. Like, you're gonna continue doing it. Like, computer science classes, the beginning class for programming, the first week they're trying to teach you how not to like pirate stuff. Like, yo, that's not what we signed up for, man. We signed up for programming. Like, thank you for telling me not to pirate things, but like, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, wow, that's a hell of a way to start, huh?
Yeah, like, whatever, dude. But yeah, I think it's one of those things that no one really cares because it's like, maybe it has to do with like this person already makes a lot of money, and
Hmm.
that it's that whole like stealing from the rich thing, Maybe that's why people are okay with it. Personally,
That's like that. You're a rich doctor. You don't need this insurance check.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's always funny.
I think that's what it is. It's like, oh, it's these rich people. They can lose a few dollars, you know.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, as you can see, the culture in both like music and gaming is that instead of going to these big record companies to publish your stuff or big publishers or whatever, you just do it yourself now. You reap all the benefits that way. Um, Everyone's going that independent route in
yeah.
both
But
ways.
you know what's funny? A lot of these indie games are now being published by publishers.
Yeah, I've
So
noticed that. I have noticed that.
yeah, like the publishers want in now too. And the indie games are getting less indie and a lot bigger. The teams making them are getting larger. Like
Mhm.
it's losing what it was. There's still good stuff. Don't get me wrong there, but like it's kind of like as the music industry became more of an industry and less of an art.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
and it worries me that the indie games might kind of eventually grow into something that no longer is what made it so great to begin with.
It's slowly getting there.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe there's like room for everything, like the bigger independent kind of games with some publisher backing, and then the smaller ones will still be out there. Like if we keep a mix, I'm good.
Hmm.
But I just don't want everything to have to be $60 AAA, $50 season pass. sign over your firstborn kid, like I I want some of that. I just don't want all of that,
Yeah.
Bite-sized games are great.
It's very true, man.
Yeah.
It's nice
It's
to
like
have that taste.
sometimes I want the full-size Chips Ahoy, and sometimes I want the bite-size. Sometimes you want a double stuff Oreo, and sometimes you just want a regular one.
All right.
Analogies for Life by the Malgadar. See, this week I'm doing poetry. Last week I'm doing ASMR. Like,
Just trying to figure out your niche, huh?
I'm an artist, man. Can't stop me. Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you the big question, Chris.
All right.
You ever pirated anything?
You see, I'm not answering that question. Why
This
would I
isn't
answer that
this
question?
isn't a court of law. You can't be held accountable for anything you say here. You're not under
No,
oath.
of course I have, man.
Okay. I know.
Told
It's
you-
a dumb question. Actually, I want to meet the guy who's never pirated anything. That's the guy I want to meet.
People who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're a PC gamer, you probably know what you're doing. But no, like I've done it. I think I've talked to you about it before. I've done it maybe twice in the past, like 2 years, because I've just been buying things on sale for like $2. But I wanted to see what Watch Dogs was about, so I checked that out. Yeah, and realized it was a shit game. It was just Assassin's Creed in the future. So I just like, all right, I don't need this game. I've already played it before. And so then, I didn't do that. And then I played City Skyline. I wanted to see what that was like. Is it just another Sims? Like, how good is it? And then I downloaded it, played it, realized it was really good. And then I ended up buying it. Like, I just kind of use it as a demo. There's no demos, man.
Yeah.
Like, at 2 people, it was funny. Like, on Friday, no, it was Thursday we were talking about this, right?
Okay.
And I was like, there's no demos. Like, where happened to the demos? Everything's a beta. Nobody wants to play the online. We're going to play single player, right? So I was telling people about Stellaris, and I had 3 friends asking me, like, oh, is there a demo out there? What?
No. Nobody has demos anymore.
Man, this is the 90s.
Well, here's what I've heard. I've heard that people will play the demo and be satisfied and not buy the game.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's not me. That might be some gamer, but it's not me.
I think it depends on the game.
Yeah, for myself, I don't like demos because I'm like, you can lie in a demo. You can create a 1-hour slice of a game that's fun, and the rest of your game can be no different or more interesting than that 1 hour. But you can trick people into thinking there's so much more to it. So I'm not a big fan of the demo anyway. The only way to really know if you like a game is to actually play it. And like the full game. And I think things like share play and all are really going to help with that. Because then it's like, because it's like if you know one person who has it, you can actually get a chance to try it. I think the other thing is too, like the streamers have really taken a lot of that too.
Yeah, but sometimes you want to get that in your hand. Like you want to.
Well, that's where share play will come in. Like the streamers do a good job of showing it, and if for some reason that's not enough for you,
Share play can also hurt people too.
What's this?
Share play can also hurt developers and publishers too.
Yeah, they've built.
Try it, but if it's a multiplayer game and nobody wants to buy Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, whatever you want to call it, then your friend has it, then you two can just play, and you never have to purchase the game.
Would it have been better if they called it like Call of Duty Murdering Aliens?
Like something, like I don't know, man. Just go back to the original, please. Just stop. Soon it's just going to be a SpaceX game, and you're just going to be patrolling planets in the most Michael Bay style ever.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going to happen.
Well, whatever. As long as they keep buying it, good on them. Whatever they want to do. I don't play it, so it really doesn't affect me in any way. They can make it a paint-by-numbers game for all I care.
They knew this was going to be a shit game when they decided they're going to release an HD remake of the 4th one, Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
And make it so it's not a standalone thing. Like, you have to purchase the shit game in order to get the game that everyone really actually wants. Like, That's when you know it's bad. Or when they had to add space battles in there because they were like, we're getting bored, man. There's nothing else we can do. Like, we got to keep taking it the next step up. Let's add space because, people were upset that Battlefront didn't have it. We'll add it to our game this year.
I think we're straying from the topic at hand, aren't we? Here, we're getting like
This is true.
all kinds of derailed. What were we talking? Oh, we were talking about things we pirated. Yeah. So notable things I pirated. I'm trying to think. Borderlands was one. At a time when my money was really tight, and I had tried Borderlands for like an hour with my buddy Dick Pierce, and I wasn't really sure. Yeah, that's his name. I hope you're watching.
Every time you say it, man, it gets you. It's like,
hey, man, when life throws you a hanging breaking pitch, you knock it out of the park, man. Yeah, only I would have a friend with that name. But anyway, yeah. But I wasn't really sure I wanted it, so not willing to drop $60 without really knowing. I ended up downloading a version of it on PC. Played it for a few hours, kind of got into it. Was like, I dig it. It was kind of bugged. So I was like, you know what? Screw dealing with this. Went on Steam, bought it. Now I'm a big Borderlands fan. I have them all. PC and console. I have no idea why I keep buying multiple copies of the same game, but I do. And yeah, so that was a case where I pirated something and ended up buying it. I also pirated Fallout 3 on PC, but I already had it on Xbox. And I kind of wanted to see what the differences were. And I kind of played around with it, and boy, was I blown away by the faster load times on PC. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. Wasn't really willing to play through the whole game again. So, like, because, that's a lot of work building up from the beginning. But put it on my Steam wish list. The next time, like, the Game of the Year edition was on sale, I picked it up. Yeah. And I never played it. So, but it's there if I ever want to go back, because my 360's been retired. So, So it's good, because now I do have it somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Anything else I pirated? I think I pirated something. It was a game. I think it was one of the Sacred games, and there was like an expansion pack that wasn't available in the U.S. So I like downloaded the European version of it and got that up and running to try to play the expansion. But then I ran into the same thing. I put all this work into the U.S. version and wasn't willing to redo it all on that one. So yeah. And then I think later the expansion did come out for the U.S., but at that point I was done with the game anyway. So, that was one of them just weird cases of shit not being organized well on the publisher and developer end.
Yeah.
Well, I think the original publisher went under. Somebody else picked up the rights to it. It was complicated.
I can't think of any. I think I've only had Steam for like 4 years. Yeah. According to Steam, I've only been here 4 years. So I've been using, it's like all my stuff I've been getting from Steam whenever they have a sale. Like I don't.
Yeah.
And then for Xbox, I would just wait for them to be on sale before then. And then, I mean, you couldn't really pirate anything on the Xbox anyway.
Yeah. There are like.
It's too much work.
Oh yeah, console piracy is way more work than it would ever be worth. I don't know why anybody would do that.
I don't even like even PC, man. Like unless there's like a easy click and drag, fuck that mess, man. There's too much work.
I was thinking like, okay, so like emulation's kind of the tiny elephant that's in the room, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the real gray area, right?
Okay, well yeah, I'll give you that.
But yeah, like piracy, yes, wrong, but I don't know. I've always had this debate with you about like the people pirate shit. Would they actually buy it anyway? Like if piracy just disappeared tomorrow, would they start buying your shit? I don't know how many of them would. I feel like a lot of them are only in it because it's free.
Yep.
I feel like you're talking about maybe 10 or 20% of those people would actually be like, oh, I can't get it free. Let me go spend my money and buy it. Like, I feel like a lot of them are the mooches and less of them are and some of them are probably just not
Use
even
it to the man.
there might be some of them. I was thinking some of them might just be like collectors. Like they download all this stuff and don't ever actually use any of it. Because I know a couple people like that. They'll just be like, look, I have like 150 gigs of movies, and it's like, yeah, what ones do you watch? And they're
I
like,
used to be that with
and they're
music.
like, I have 150 gigs of movies, like, and it's like, okay, forget it. You're not even listening, like they're just doing it to do it, not to actually even watch it.
I used to listen to everything I downloaded. I used to have 100 160 gigs of music,
Okay,
ranging from like
that's a lot of music.
oh, dude, it was so much, and it was beautiful because it would fit on the iPad or the iPod, and I could just like scroll through. And then I got to a point I was like, I don't need all of this. Like, it's hard to decide what song I want to play out of this collection. Like, this is worse than when people had like the 300 CD cases in their car, and they're like, "Yeah, go ahead, pick a song out," and you got to flip through that big ass case.
It's like,
It's,
dude, just play the first one. I don't feel like looking through 300 to make a choice.
yeah, and so it's like it's a pain in the ass, and then you have to shuffle. Like, I'll just shuffle my music. It's like, no, man, I don't want to shuffle my music. I don't want to go from like Jimi Hendrix to Pink Floyd to like ASAP Rocky. Like, no, that's a terrible playlist. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I got rid of all my music. I've been using streaming services from now on, and it's beautiful. Like, I was on Pandora when it like first came out, and I thought it was like the best things. Like, I can discover new music, new artists, and then I can have a different album like each day. I can go back if I wanted to, but I don't really care. Then I got Google Play. I haven't downloaded a damn thing, except Kanye West. That asshole.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's my
Released
brother from another mother, man. Don't even mess with him. You know I love Kanye.
the shittiest release date for or release for an album. Like, come on, dude, get your shit together. But yeah, that was the last thing I've done. But yeah, like ever since there's been an option to pay for something, make it easier on myself, there's no real reason to pirate anything.
Yeah,
Netflix got your movies.
that's true.
Fuck pirating anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Netflix got
Yeah.
your wallet.
Yeah. And I've gotten to a point where it's like, if I don't have it, if I don't have the money for it, well, then I just don't have it.
Yeah. Well, you know what else I think has happened too? Like, I don't know. There's so much content out there now. It's like anybody
Yeah,
who's kind of like hardcore in any way probably has so much content at this point. Like, I don't know. Like me, like why would I pirate something? I got a backlog of shit to get through. I'm never getting through it. Like, because more things just keep getting added on top. So
yep.
it's like, why would I go pirate something? I got stuff I got to get through over here still.
Right
You know?
now, yeah.
Uh, let's double back to this emulation. We got sidetracked from it though.
Yeah, yeah.
So emulation, right? I've always kind of held this stance that if there's no valid way to buy it that the developer gets paid for, that it's cool.
Yeah,
Because
which
like,
makes sense because everything's used now, and so the only people
yeah,
making the money are the stores.
yeah, like buying it used at GameStop or buying it used on eBay is no different than emulating it. Like I guess
Hmm.
maybe buy it at GameStop, you're helping the economy, but it's like I don't know. It if the developer ain't getting the cash, then I don't really care because they're the one who deserve it. Like if you want to go to GameStop and buy some, although I don't really know what you could buy at GameStop that you can't still buy at this point. You know.
Yeah, at GameStop's only recent stuff,
Yeah.
so you'd have to find a mom and pop game store that's selling retro
Yeah.
games to find those.
And that one
Then,
might be something you want to support.
yeah,
That's a little different.
but then on top of that, you have to buy the right TVs for it now. So everyone's got these new LCDs, LED, flat screen TVs. You got to go buy yourself a tube television to play a lot of the games. So
Yeah.
it's with emulating, because most of the time most people are emulating PlayStation or older game. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and then like going back. Uh, like the PlayStation, the 64, those will be all right on modern TVs. But the further you go back, the less it's likely you can play it. Chances are you've already owned the game, so you've already helped the developer. So you kind of just
Yeah.
you just
I-
want a different way of playing it at the time, you know?
Yeah, like I have emulated versions of all the Mega Mans 1 through 6 on my PC.
I assume you own them all too.
I didn't own them all on NES because back then it was all different. Like I bought a lot of my stuff used and traded it back in and bought different stuff and like
Yep.
a lot of I don't know, a lot of moving things around. But then as they became more available, like I bought the Mega Man Anniversary Collection
Yeah.
for GameCube, and then which is awful by the way because they flip flop the buttons. It's the worst thing in the world. Uh, but yeah, so like I bought that. Then when they started coming out digital on Wii U, I started buying them over there. Then when they released the whatever the new collection is on PlayStation 4, I bought that. So like it's not that I'm emulating them to not play or to not pay for them. It's just I'm emulating them because if I want it on my laptop for when I go somewhere, I like having it, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm just making it available to myself on different platforms, but I've still bought them numerous times over,
Hmm.
you know. And probably still will because I'm an idiot and I'll just pretty much you put Mega Man on it, you know. It could be a gold cartridge. I'll be like, oh, Mega Man, and get on that. As long as it's 8-bit, it went,
Oh,
you know, it spiraled out of control after that. But yeah, the other thing is like some of those obscure games that are not getting re-released digitally. It's kind of like, well, that's fair game, I guess. Like, who the fuck owns the rights to the Guardian Legend? You know, like that was like Broderbund Software. You know, like God only knows who has the rights to that right now. Like it could be some like steel company in Wisconsin for all we know could have gotten that somehow. You know.
then it's become expensive to even like. So I've let me say about 5 years ago, I went to this. Have I been here 5 years? 4 years ago. I went to this gaming place in Bristol, right?
Okay.
Went there. This guy had everything you could possibly want out of there. He had
Oh, I
like,
love that. That was great at PAX. Some of them booths that had like all the retro shit,
yeah,
like crazy overpriced, but it was just cool to see like an SNES in the box, you know, and
that's the
the
thing,
all the
man.
different colored N64s, and you know,
Because it's all considered collectors. Any type of like game that you're looking for back then, like me and our friend were just like, we should go buy 64 and some controllers so we can play some GoldenEye, some old school Mario Kart, some Smash. You know, it'd be a fun time, right? You get there and the guy's like 120 for the 64 in the box. You're like, the fuck? Hey,
yeah.
no, I'm not paying for that, man. Look how old it is. The box is beat up. Like this is even like a never been opened. No, this has been
It's like water
opened.
damage, dude. Did you like have a flood in your basement or something? Like, come on.
They were like, all right, dude, all right. So we'll take the one that's like in the plastic bag over there for $60, right? And then we're looking for games. We're like, yeah, you guys got GoldenEye? He's like, oh yeah, that's like $80. You're like, dude, that's not even a rare game. Like,
Everybody had that. There's millions of copies of
there's
that.
so many copies out there, right?
Oh
Right?
my god.
I
Yeah.
say, you know what, dude? I am not sold on the 64. I was like, you know what? Let me check out the Super Nintendo. So I see Super Nintendo. It's $30 for the system. I was like, cool. I was like, oh, do you have Super Mario World or Super Mario Bros? He goes, oh yeah. It's that's $40. I'm like, the fuck do you mean $40, dude? I was like, dude, I'm leaving. Like you've jacked the prices up so high. Like I understand you're trying to make a living off of this, but come on, man.
There's a reason it's still on your shelves too.
Yeah,
You
it's like,
know?
this
Yeah.
isn't rare quantities of
Yeah.
things, man. Like
Re-
there was one. There's a few like Japanese games he had in there that were
okay,
priced
well those are going to be hard to find too.
exactly right. Nope. I remember we were looking for Marvel versus Capcom, the first one. That game was like $90 used. I was like, dude, what the fuck, man?
That's crazy.
Like, it's a rare game. It's not rare, dude. God, all right. Like, yeah, it's gotten to a point where everything is considered a collector. So
Yeah, like this isn't archaeology. This is friggin' media, man. Come on.
That's all it is, and you're just trying to relive the past, and people are trying to make it into a collector's thing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous now. So that I understand emulation. I have no problem with emulators, especially considering.
The only thing I'll say is if there's a legit way to get it and the developer gets paid for it or the publisher, do it a legit way, you know. And then if you want to emulate it, go ahead, all right? Because now you got rights to it. You bought it.
Yep.
So if you'd rather play it on your laptop instead of your television, okay, take it to a buddy's house, all right? You can play some two-player. But, like, you know, kick back, man. Like, you know, you work for your money, like, so do other people. Hook them up. If there's no legitimate way to get it, I'm like, play ball. Go do it. Go do what you got to do. You don't know anybody on eBay anything.
At this day and age, the only people making money from it are people who already own the game. So it's like,
yeah,
it's over and done with. No one's making money. You're not stealing it from anybody. I understand there's still that guilt thing, but it's like, dude, you can't get the money to the developer at all.
Yeah.
Half of the developers don't even exist. So it's like,
especially from like the NES and SNES days, man.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess even now the PlayStation, a lot of that shit's folded.
Yeah, a lot of.
Although the only difference is a lot of that PlayStation stuff that folded got bought up into other people. Like, so how all the THQ properties got like bought up and everything, you know. Like, so that's a bit different. It's a little sketchier, you know.
Yeah.
But that old Nintendo stuff, man, God knows where some of those companies went. Because there was so much fly-by-night. Like, yeah, we'll make a game. You know?
Yep.
Like, you realize we're a cereal company, right? Yeah, come on, we're going to make a game. It's easy. Kids do it. We can figure it out, you know. Okay, Chris, so we did that. The only thing I got left on the list here, DRM.
Oh.
Does it stop piracy or does it just hurt customers that actually paid for the game?
It doesn't stop piracy at all.
I feel like
it doesn't do anything.
I feel like it did at first. But I feel like the pirates have figured out the ways they use the DRM.
Yeah.
And until they come up with new ways, like, you've lost, you know?
Here's the problem with DRM.
Like, shit's getting cracked on day one. Like, you're clearly not... It's not doing anything.
It's because their idea of making sure people have legit copies, is checking it online. So if you're not online, if you disconnect from the internet and you have this game going, there's no issue.
Yeah, and last time I checked,
everything they have to do, it's all through launchers. It's all through their bullshit origin type of shit. Like, it's all.
I hate it.
There, and like even Steam allows you to like take your games and put it on there. So there's like really no way for them to actually check it if you disconnect from the internet when you play the game.
You know what bothers me too? It said like games like Diablo 3 or The Division with the always having to be online. Mm-hmm. Now, lucky for me, console guy, I could play Diablo 3 offline. But it's so annoying because it's like there's no reason to have to be online other than trying to stop piracy. Like, that's all it is. There's nothing else to it. And it sucks that it's got to be like that because it's like I should be able to just play the game by myself with nobody else.
Oh, I think Diablo on PC is online because of the Battle.net connection.
It was to stop piracy.
Well, that's what the Battle.net launcher is there
for.
You know?
There's a reason why the console version you can play offline.
You can sign in to use the game, so if you sign in and the game is not registered.
But it sucks because like they launched, the servers can't handle it, and people can't play the game, and there's no reason why that should have even existed.
That's it. Yeah. You know? That's what causes the issue. Like, Division had issues with Uplay.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't, if you're going to, you got to figure out a better way to do it or just not worry about it. Because, in my opinion, if you make a good game, chances are people are going to buy it because more people buy games than they do pirate. Pirate's only a small percentage of it, of people that are actually playing games. Because you can't play online with a pirated version unless you're on like a private server anyway. So it's like you the way they're trying to stop it is actually hurting people who pay for the game. It's a pain in the ass. It's a complete pain in the ass. So that's why you just buy everything DRM free, you know?
Yeah, it just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. It just, in the sense that, like, I don't know. It seems like a bad idea to meekly not really stop the piracy and hurt the customers. So I guess there's analytics there, right? And the problem is they probably see the dollars they lose on piracy, thinking that every pirate is going to buy the game. So they just add it all. Like every pirated copy, every downloaded one they find, they count $60 back in their pocket. And it's like, well, that's just not the truth of it. Like, you're lying to yourself.
That's what it is.
Like, you're getting maybe 10% of them people at most for $60, So, when you do your cost analysis, you just got to be more real about them numbers, I feel like.
I don't think the numbers are that much compared to how much they actually get.
Yeah, and if the DRM actually drives away people who would play, now it's going in two different directions, So, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I don't necessarily know that it has to go, but I would definitely love to know what the analysis is they do, like what their costing process is for why they should use it. What's this?
They need to get rid of all the launchers.
Like, oh God! What, Chris? Don't you want like 30 different launchers on your system though? Like,
there's very few that work properly. Blizzard's works beautifully. Like, it's not intrusive. It's just there. Doesn't cause me any issues. But when you have things, and Blizzard runs their own stuff, they don't sell it anywhere else besides on another site, but it's all connected through Battle.net, right? Then you have Steam. You're like, okay, this is cool. Everything's through Steam. But then you open up the game in Steam, and it opens up another fucking launcher. It's like, yo, Steam already helped you. Like, stop. I don't need Uplay. I'm trying to think of other games that have like these shitty launchers that come up. Bethesda's trying to like work on their own. Like,
yeah.
Don't need this shit, man. And then now you got Origin. It was like, we're just like Steam. So then like all the EA games that are like at least decent, or like BioWare games, are all on fucking Origin. And it's like, now I gotta get another copy. Now I gotta get this. Like, I can't get it without Origin. I can't play the game without Origin starting up. It's like, they need to get their shit together and figure out a very like one way of doing things.
Valve just needs to start buying everybody. There you go. Right there's your solution, Chris. Monopoly.
Oh man, yeah. It's like they don't even need the launcher if Steam is running. Like, the person already bought it on Steam. Why are we going through that again? And why is it not connected so it's seamless? Like, all right, I'm signed into Steam. When I click on the Division or something, Uplay pops up, but it's just a quick pop up and go. It doesn't even have to pop up. It can just like show up in your bar like you've signed into Uplay, and the game pops up and runs. It doesn't make sense to have to click extra buttons just to start a goddamn game.
Yeah, no, I don't know what to do about that, to be honest with you, Chris. It is the world we live in now.
Hurt the people that actually pay for the game.
Pretty much, yeah. Punish all the good people.
Yep.
All right, I feel about tapped out on Piracy. You got anything else you want to add?
Nah.
Okay.
It's
I feel like I got my $0 worth out of the conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't need to steal it, so.
I'm gonna go pirate some games today, guys. Yeah.
There you go. You're such a swashbuckler, Chris. All right.
Hold on. One thing. I feel like the people that brag about it or talk about, yeah, I get it for free. I feel like there's a pride in doing that. They're really doing something to like Yeah, man. I didn't pay for that.
Well, they go in the same clump as the idiots who put stupid comments on stuff that we talked about last week.
That's
We're
probably
gonna
true.
we're gonna load them all up on a boat one day, and then we're just gonna blow that bitch up. And we're gonna be like, no more stupid people. We're done with stupid people.
That doesn't happen, especially when there's like a whole country named China that's full of it. Like, no, dude. It's really tough to nail down stupid people because they
Well,
just happen.
we'll start slow, okay? We'll start slow. We'll figure it out, Chris. We'll
I was
get there.
watching a video of these guys riding trains in India. They ride on top of the fucking train. And then
Okay.
instead of waiting for the train to stop, they hop off and run alongside of it.
What were the jackass guys doing in India?
That's what it is. It's like a real life
Oh
jackass.
my god, that's insane, man.
Except they die, though. That's the problem. Like, it's not like, haha, he got it. No, he doesn't have a head anymore.
That's probably good because now those people can't reproduce. So that's actually a win for humanity. Yeah, you know.
Natural selection doing its thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Darwin for the win. Okay. All right, I'm gonna start wrapping this thing up. Chris, you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. We talked some Game of Thrones. We did our little piracy spiel. Uh, Buy games, man. Help developers out when you can. Uh, and listen to us every week. Right here on twitch.tv, the Malgadar. Uh, you can follow us on Twitter for the show. That's at the Collective GC. If you want to talk to me on Twitter, it is at the Malgadar. Chris is on Twitter too. He's at ChrisBCGC. Like I said before, shows on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube. Search for Collective Games Cast, and you can find all the things you want there. So until next week, guys, buy your games, okay? Safe.